It's going live. Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. Very, very excited to be running this session with Vanessa, who has joined us today. I'm very excited because this is a session which is actually being conducted in collaboration with GBG Cotonou and GBG Peshawar. I'd like to mention briefly about Google Business Groups. Google Business Groups basically are a community of entrepreneurs, tech entrepreneurs, and business professionals so that we can help our community build their ideas, leverage their ideas through the usage of technology, Google tools, and products. And likewise, very, very excited because one, we have an international coach today with us. Vanessa is one of the Google training partners for Francophone Africa. Besides that, she happens to run her own digital agency by the name of Italian. Other than that, she is also the lead for GBG Cotonou, and she also happens to be the Women Will lead for GBG Cotonou. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Mariam. I'm excited to be here and to share and also meet people all the way from Pakistan. So this is really great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for agreeing to do this. And one of the best things about the session is, Vanessa, like we had kept the registration form, we agreed upon doing that. And the reason was so that you can even share resources with the participants even after we're done with the webinar. And the kind of audience you're getting is not just from Pakistan or from Nigeria, but it's from Benin, it's from Peru, it's from Malaysia, so many other countries. It's very exciting, So I think the plus side of COVID, I believe, it's actually connecting everybody. And we have some friends from GBG. We have Indu, who's actually watching this live right now. Hi, Indu.
Hey, Indu.
Yeah. So, talking about when businesses, really want to put themselves out there, it's so important for them to understand who exactly their customers are, what exactly do the customers want, and before they can actually create their own marketing funnel and understand on which handles to, advocate and spread the marketing message. And Vanessa, I'm very happy that, you will be running a session on the same. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mariam. Thank you to GBG Peshawar, if I got that right, for having me here. So at first, I'm going to share my screen so that we could actually get started. Awesome. So the structure that I want to use is, I want to really break this down because we had a form out and we had a number of people fill out the forms and ask questions pertaining to today's training. And what I really want to focus on is addressing some of those questions while I present, the theme for today. Okay, so we're going to be talking about understanding your customer journey, what it's all about, where they are, how you meet them, and how to engage and communicate with them along that journey. So we're going to be focusing on, just give me a second, we're going to be focusing on two major things today. Just hold on a second so that I could adjust this. Okay, awesome. So today we're going to be focusing on two major things. The first is we're going to take a look at your customer journey and try to understand how they behave on this journey and how you can improve that experience for them so that they keep coming back to you. Because of course, as a business, one of the things that you need to have in mind is generating more leads and having your customers coming back. You don't want to have them come and then go away. In the long run, that is going to affect your bottom line. So we're going to see how to fix, the experience that they have on that journey. And then secondly, we're going to look at how to deliver the right messages to these customers at every stage of the journey. Okay? Now, before we start, I need you to know two very important things. first of all, get rid of all distractions. If it's your mobile phone, just lock yourself up. Okay, but really focus because I'm going to be talking about a lot of things today. On the forum, there are a lot of responses, there are a lot of questions, people saying they had no idea what the customer journey was. So I'm going to be dealing with that today, and I need all your attention. And then please feel free to ask questions along the line. If you have any questions, just put it in the comment section, and we will deal with that at the end of today's session. So one very important thing I need you to note is that the aim of marketing, regardless of the kind of marketing campaigns that you're running, is to know your customers so well that your products and your services sell themselves. So basically, what do I mean by that? A lot of times people have the problem, they face this problem. They always say, I'm running campaigns, I'm marketing out there, but it's not converting, people are not buying my product. And they spend a lot of time trying to convince people to buy from them. Now, the problem is you haven't taken time. Most times, most people don't take time to understand who their customers are and what problems they're having. Because your product or the services that you're offering, it's supposed to help them solve specific problems. And then when you're out there on social media or you're running any campaigns, your focus should be to talk to them as clearly as possible, okay, about what you do and how your products can serve them and how to use it. So it's easier for them when they come across any message or any campaigns or any ads you put out there, they understand immediately what you're about and how that solution can help them. So focus your attention on understanding who your customers are and how you can serve them. So when you're selling or when you're marketing, it's easy for them to understand and buy from you. So like I said, we're going to be focusing on two things. We're going to be looking at the customer journey and how to communicate to them. So I want you to look at the customer journey as a roadmap, okay, that explains how your customers first hear about you, how they engage with you at every stage. So engaging with you, there are touch points where they get to engage with you. And these touch points are, say, for example, your social media page or your website, or maybe a landing page on your website. So the customer journey is the entire experience from when they first hear about your brand or when they first come across your brand on any platform, how they engage with you at every touch point, and the total experience that they have along this journey. And it's very, very important to think about how you want them to engage with you, how you want them to feel while they're on this journey. Now, I'm going to break it down. We're going to look at 3 key stages of every customer's journey. We're going to look at what it means, and we're going to look at how the kind of actions that you can take on each of those stages so that they can have a better experience with you and you can easily convert them into long-term customers or paying customers. So the first is the search stage. And at this stage, your customers they started their journey. They're probably looking for something. The search stage starts when something basically happens to them. Maybe they're in need of a solution. They have a problem. They need something, or they're looking for someone that can help them. Maybe a life experience, something basically happens to initiate this process. So the next thing they do is to go out there. Now we're talking digital. The next thing they do is to go on social media or go on the web to search for people or products or resources that can help them solve those problems. And while they're searching, they are building something we call a consideration set. Now, a consideration set is kind of like a list of possible solutions that they can use to solve a problem that they have. And so let's look at this picture, okay? The lady is in the store, okay? She's in a physical store, but then imagine she's online. and she's searching for, wine. She's having a party or she's having an event, and she wants to get, wine for her event. So she's searching and she sees a list of possible shops or stores that she could buy from. Now she's making a decision. She's like, okay, I've seen this, I like this, I've seen another thing similar. There's a lot of things she has to put into consideration. The pricing, the quality, reviews. We're going to look at some of this as we continue in the presentation. But then she's forming a set, okay, that would help her decide if you are the right person that can help her solve the problems that she has. So now, one action that you can take while your customers are out there searching is to get them to add your brand, your business, your product or services into their own consideration list. Okay, now, how do you do that? First thing is get to know who they are. I mentioned this earlier. It's important to find out what they are looking for. What are their pain points? What are those things that frustrate them? Okay, because if there is no need, they will not be out there searching in the first place. So you need to understand what these needs are. What is it that they're trying to solve? In that picture, the lady she's having an event, she's having a party, and she wants to have friends over. So she's looking for a certain kind of wine, probably non-alcoholic, maybe has a kind of flavor, or it depends. So it's your responsibility to find out what the needs are. Now dig deeper, don't just stay on the surface, because most of the times, a lot of people focus on what they want, so who they are, about who they are, which is, okay, you're selling to, your ideal customer is a woman, she's between the ages of 25 to 45, she has kids, she works, she has a job, and she runs a side business. That is who they are, but it's not enough. You need to understand why they are buying or why they will buy. And this is that inner desire or that pain point or that frustration that will cause them to buy from you. So having them consider you is, understanding who they are first, and then getting in front of them and delivering the right message. So if you know what these pain points are, or if you know what these frustrations are, it's easier. It's now easier for you to craft messages that address, that talk to them. And one very important thing is when you talk to your customers or you talk to your audience, talk in a language that they understand. Don't use big fancy words, out there. Talk to them. Say, for example, okay, let's take the picture of the lady. She's planning an event that we know. She's looking for some flavored wine and non-alcoholic. Okay, so now the thing is, most of the wine she's seeing there has some alcoholic content, and she doesn't like that. The other kinds of wine that she sees out there doesn't really fit her budget. They're probably too expensive, or it will take a lot of money from her, especially when she's paying for shipping and all of that. Remember, we're considering that she's buying it online and not walking into the store. So when you want to address that, when you want to talk to that kind of audience, you need to be specific. Talk in a language that they understand. Are you looking to buy affordable, wines that fit into that category she's looking for? So getting them to consider you is, you have to do your homework by understanding who they are, digging deep to find out what their pain points are, what their desires are, and then getting in front of them and talking to them in a language that they would understand. Okay? Now, it's also very, very important that you are out there. You need to be visible out there, because there is no way you could pass across the right message to them when they don't even know that you exist. So being visible is key for this to work. Now, how do we define success at this stage? So when they are searching for you, how do you define success? Or what is it that you really focus on? Because at this stage, let's be very honest, these people do not know you. They're just coming across your brand. They're searching and they find you, or they find your website, and they like the information that they see there. They like the way you showcase your product. They like the way you explain what you do and how it would help them. But most of the times they are not ready to buy. So you have to do some work to try to convince them or guide them through the buying process. So at this stage, your primary objective should be to attract them to you and get them to know you first. Okay? Because like I said, if they don't know you exist, then there is no way that they would even consider buying from you or engaging further with you. So at this stage, at the search stage, while they're searching for you, your primary objective should be to get them to know you. And what you're going to be measuring, because I like to measure things, I like to set metrics. So the first thing is, are they able to find you? So you're measuring how many people are finding you. So if we're saying if say for example social media, we're measuring the reach. How many people has your brand reached? How many people see you? Okay, and you can measure this by the amount of customers visiting your website. If you have a landing page, if you're selling a particular product, how many people are visiting those pages, how many people are visiting your social media pages. Of course, we can measure all of this if you have the right tracking pixels or code installed either on your website or on social media. Okay, so I want to go back here. Do we have any questions so far? None. Okay. We don't have any questions?
We do have a couple of questions. Do you want to take them right now, or do you want me to read them out later?
Okay. Let's go on, and then I'll come back to that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So we're going to start with the second stage, which is the consideration stage. So after they found you, they're searching. Remember, they're searching. They have a need. So they're looking for someone that can help satisfy that need. They find you. They click on the link, and then they visit you. Now, what they're doing is making a decision. And this is where the second stage comes in, the consideration stage. And this is where they begin to conduct more research based on all the options that they've gathered. And remember, for the first stage, your primary objective should be to attract them to you and get them to put you and your business, your brand, your product or services into their consideration set. So when they're researching or when they're trying to make the buying decision, you are amongst the people that they would consider or carry out more research on. So in this stage, okay, this is the part where you get to show yourself, okay, and put out, your best foot forward, so that you are amongst the people that get selected. Now, while this, okay, so now the way they do, let's look at this chart. We're going to look at this. We're going to use this to explain how they go about making that decision. Yeah, so we have 4 boxes here, and then we have it broken down into the product and the brand. And I needed to understand that your customers, they do not go looking for you first, especially if they do not know you. So they first start out by searching for any possible product or any possible service or any possible resources that can help them solve that need at that time. So they have no idea who you are. Okay, that is why it's important, whatever you do out there, you need to be very intentional. If you're writing about your product, if you're posting, you need to make sure that you are using the right words. Like I said, talk in a way that, talk in the language that your audience or your customers will understand. Yeah, because when people are searching, they do not search for, let's say, for example, if they go online to search for wines, okay, fruit wines, and you are, when you want to communicate, or sorry, when they want to search, they would not search for how do I put it? Let's say I'm trying to look for a very good example. If they want to search, they would search for the best. Where can I buy fruit wine near me? Okay, so I'm here in Abuja. I would say, where can I buy, fruit wine or affordable fruit wines near me in Itama, or depending on where they are. So when you are talking or when you are putting out your products out there, use those kind of phrases that they are going to be searching with to make it easier for your product, your business, or your service to appear on their search list. Yeah. So we have under product, we have, let's take it this way. Okay. So first they search for solutions to their needs. They don't search for your brand or your business name first, because remember, they do not know who you are at that point in time. So the first information that they get when they're searching is information about your product. Now, this is the information that you put out there about your product, and that's the primary product information. So you're selling shoes, of course, you put a description about your shoe, the size, the price, you deliver to what country, or you are offering web design, you do web design, you offer web design services, or you do SEO services. You would talk about it. List out how long you work, how much, or how people can work with you. This information that you put out there by yourself about your product is the primary product information, and that is what they will find first. Okay, and then of course they list it. But then when they're considering, they go a step further. They want to know more about your product, and not just from you, but what other people are saying. Are there other people who've used your product? Are there other people that you've worked with? What experience did they have? And then they begin to look out for the secondary product information. That is, we're talking about reviews from other people. We're talking about when you put to review sites, of course, you see that, and you go to maybe your Facebook pages and you see other people leave reviews there. So they search, they want to know how other people, what experience other people have had using your product or working with you. Now, this helps them to make certain decisions if they want to continue with you or not. Now, the second stage is when they now want to know more about your business. Okay, so yes, they've read reviews, they've seen information about your product, it's the right price, it's the right quantity, you have the right quantity, you have the quantity they need, you can ship it to them, it's affordable, you have the right design, they are liking what they see, and then they want to know more about you. Then they go out there, they click, okay, maybe visit your website or check you out on social media. But I know I do that a lot. I go on your page, I see something, I click to go on social media to see what you do or what you're about, what you stand for. If you're the kind of brand that has the same values that they want, okay? And then they go out there to get this information, but they don't stop there. I want to know how other people see your brand or how they perceive your brand. Yeah, and then of course, the thing about this is you do not have control over this, because someone might have a bad experience with your brand and he goes on social media and leaves a very negative review, or maybe on your product, on your website. So you can't control what people say, but it's your responsibility to map out their entire journey. So when you know there is a loophole at a particular place, you can fix it. So you can guide the kind of resumes or the kind of feedback or reviews that people leave for your business. So if you look at this picture, you'd see down here that, the reviews here, and these reviews are fantastic. So if you have a restaurant and the customer is looking for, a fantastic, restaurant and eatery where they could go have lunch or take a bunch of friends, and they, of course, they're searching out there, you pop up, they read the information, they see your menu, it's affordable, it's at a very good location. Yeah, this is nice. And then they check out the reviews and they see these amazing reviews. Of course, you top the list for them, or you just, you rise, you climb on their consideration, on the list of their consideration set. Okay, so now what action can you take? The first is to deepen the engagement with your current audience at every stage of their journey. So the first thing you need to do is to understand where each of your customers are on these stages. We're going to talk about this when we start with, being able to communicate, sending the right message to them. But for now, to be able to help them or to play a role while they're considering all the other businesses or yourself and your competitors is to first of all understand where they are. Okay, and we have different types of customers. We have the warm customer, we have the cold, we have the warm, and then the hot. Okay, so you need to understand, is this person familiar with my business? Do they know me? If they know me, the way you would communicate is different, and the way they would engage with you is different from someone that is very, familiar with your brand or has purchased from you. Now, secondly, if you determine this, knowing where they are on their stages helps you determine the best type of engagement strategy to focus on. Okay, to help them engage more. So if someone visits your website and they don't do anything on your website and they leave your website, the way you would engage with them is different from someone who is already on your mailing list or someone who has attended one of your webinars or even purchased any of your products. So knowing what stage they are helps you determine the best kind of engagement strategy that you would use for them. So let me explain this way. So let's look at just give me a second. Okay, so let's look at different engagement strategies. I'm using a website, for example. You could have social media, you could have maybe a landing page, but I'm going to use a website, for example. Okay, so say, for example, you run a campaign or you put out something on your social media page to drive traffic to your website. There are three ways that people can engage on this website, or there are three things that I like to consider. First things are the people that just visit there and then they view. Excuse me. They don't take any actions on your website. They do nothing. They just come, visit multiple pages and they leave your website. Now these people have the lowest engagement level. And of course, there's several things that you can do to spike up that engagement, but then that depends on you. And remember, if people are visiting, if they are clicking a link to visit your website, it means that they are somehow interested in what it is that you have to offer. It might be a blog post, or it might just be a product that they found about, or maybe a free webinar, or some free resource that you put out there. They're visiting because they find it relevant to some extent. Now, there's this saying that you can force a horse to the stream, but you can't force it to drink water. So they see the link, they click, they visit, but then what they do on that website or on that page determines it's based on how they want to further that engagement, or the kind of resources that they see, or how captivating your message is on that page. So the first level is the people that come in there and do nothing. Now the second engagement level are the people that take an action. They act on your website. So they can decide to opt in your mailing list, they can decide to download a free resource, or maybe purchase. So the more they take action on your website, the engagement level is rising, it's increasing. And the way that you would follow up with them is going to be slightly different from those people that came in there and left. We're going to talk more on this as we go on. I just want to explain the different engagement levels that we can have. And then, and then the last are the people that convert. Yeah, they've previously purchased from you, or they've taken an action on your website. These people have the highest level of engagement with your brand, and the possibility of having them buy again or visit again is higher, because they love the engagement, they love the experience that they've had with you, and they're ready to come back for more. So Understanding where your customers are at each stage of their journey can help you determine the best type of engagement strategy you should focus on when you're interacting with them. So I'm going to share an example later on, and would walk through an example so you understand what I mean by this. So how do you define success in this stage? The customers in this stage may still not be certain if they want to buy from you or not. Remember, they're still considering. They have a list of things that they want. So they're considering their budget, they're considering availability, they're considering maybe other costs like maybe shipping costs, they have to pay that. So there's a lot for them to consider. So, and then of course you have competitors. There are other people that they're thinking about buying from. So at this stage, they're not convinced yet, but they're in that process of deciding if they should buy from you or not. So what you really need to focus on in this stage is to increase your engagement with them. Now, when I say engagement, I also mean following up with them. So someone who visits your website and then goes out without performing any actions, you don't just let them leave like that. Follow up with them. You could run some ads, run retargeted ads, or if they perform an action on your website, and say for example they see your product, they like it, they click, put it in their basket, but they do not, they don't buy at the end of the day, you can follow up with them. Now, the fact that they took an action means that they are interested, means that they're already engaging with you, but the engagement is at its medium. Okay, now it's your responsibility to increase that so that they can buy at the end of the day. So you can follow up, you can send them an email, maybe offer them a 5% discount to purchase that product, reminding them, hey, we noticed that you visited, but you left this item on your cart. Here's 5% for you. Come back and get 5%, and then, that is one way of engaging, following up with them to make sure that they, they follow through on their journey and then they end up being customers. So what you should be measuring is the engagement level. And why this is important is it helps you understand if your message is good. Because a lot of times people focus on conversion. Conversion is good, but you also need to understand how are customers engaging with you. Are they finding your message relevant? Do they understand what you're offering? Do they understand how your product or your services can help them solve their problems or make their lives easier? So if your messaging is not, if they're not resonating with your messaging, they might opt out and you lose them. So it's important to measure or to track how well they are engaging with your brand, how well they're taking action, how well, how further along their journey they're moving. This helps you determine if you need to tweak your message, if you need to change your message completely, or if you need to just amplify it, to help them through that process. Okay, so we're going to look at the third stage, and here we are. Okay, I'm going to move this a bit, and it's okay, great. So we're going to look at the third stage, which is the stage where they are ready to buy. Okay, and your responsibility at this stage is to just give them a nudge, give them a little push, so that you are the person that they buy from. Because remember, they have a lot of things to consider. They have to think of shipping costs, how much extra it's going to cost them to buy from you and get it shipped to them. They're also going to think about maybe taxes, if they're going to pay taxes. They're also going to consider how easy is it to buy from you. So there are a lot of things that they have to consider. Your responsibilities is to make sure that they don't have any difficulties buying from you. Okay, so what action should you take at this stage? When they're ready to buy, you need to convert them. You need to, have them just bring out their credit cards and buy, and so that your conversion rate increases. So the first thing that you can do is to run multiple campaigns using different channels. Because remember that when you're starting to understand your customers, your ideal customers, one of the things that you need to consider is what channels they're on. Are they on Facebook, or are they on Instagram, or maybe LinkedIn? Find out where they are and how best they want you to communicate with them. And then you run campaigns on this platform because they're there and you're going to easily connect with them. Okay, and then of course it's easier when you're running these campaigns to people who have engaged with your brand, because for sure they are interested. The way you would run, the kind of campaigns you would run to a cold audience or someone that is not familiar with your brand is different from how you would engage or run an ad to customers or an audience that is already engaged with you. That is why it's important to know what level or what stage they are on their journey, and how best to reach out to them. So in converting them, you need to run remarketing campaigns. And one very important thing you need to note is you need to have a budget for running ads. It's very, very important, because when you take social media right now, algorithms have changed. There are platforms that when you put out a post, no one sees what you have there. You need to find a way to amplify that message. And then running ads is important. If you have a website, you need to install tracking pixels so that you can measure all your effort. If you're not measuring, if you don't know how many people are visiting your website, if you don't know how many people are reading your post, then all your effort will be for nothing. Because while you're marketing, you need to be intentional. And someone asked a question, which I'm going to respond to, is how to measure my marketing, my marketing efforts. It starts with you setting goals. And when you set those goals, you have metrics. You know what you're measuring, and then you put in all your effort there to make sure that you get 100% of that goal. Okay. Now the second thing is people will visit your website. People would want to buy. They start the buying process, but at the end of the day, they leave it. Maybe they are distracted, or probably they try a credit card, it doesn't work, and they want to try to get another card. And at the end of the day, something happens and they totally forget it, and they don't come back. Okay, like I said, at this stage, it's your responsibility to give them a little push to complete that purchase. So of course, while you're running ads, follow up with people that abandoned their carts, or people that didn't complete what they started on your website or any of your platforms. You need to follow up to make sure that they complete that they complete that process. So how do you measure success at this stage? Calculating conversion rates, okay? And when you're doing that, you're also checking how much it's costing you to acquire that customer. Are you spending $1 to get maybe $10? So you say, for example, your product is $10 or $15. How much is it costing you to get that one customer? Is it $1? Is it $2? Is it 50 cents? You need to begin at this stage. You need to measure, how much it's costing you and how much you are getting back as returns for all your efforts. Yeah, so we're going to look at some examples of the customer journey and their experiences. We're going to look at the good experiences, we're going to look at the bad experiences, and some of the things that we can tweak along this journey to make it a good experience for them. Because if the experience is good, they will go out there, they'll give you reviews, they'll talk about your business, they'll recommend you. And when new customers are searching, remember, they search for the primary product information, which is the information that you share, and the secondary product information, which is the information from reviews and customer testimonials and what other people are saying about you. So it's important to put all of this into consideration. So if there's a loophole, you know where to correct, you know what to fix to make that experience an amazing one for them. Okay, so I'm going to, Hold on a second. I'm going to just make this bigger so that you can see. Okay, I'm sure this is.
Yeah, it's visible now.
It's better. Okay, good. So this is an example. This is Anne, and I'm going to quickly read through this. Anne is surfing the web for a dress. She wants to buy a dress, and so she sees your website. She's never heard about your brand before, so you're new for her. You're a new experience. But her attention is immediately grabbed by how neat everything looks. So remember the first day search. She's searching for information. She has no idea who you are, but she likes what she sees. So then she goes into the second part, the consideration part. The drop-down menu on the women's clothing landing page is easy and quick and to click and search. There is an option for price ranges. She doesn't want to spend a fortune. So remember, you need to understand what your customers are all about. For her, she doesn't have a large budget. She wants to get a nice dress, but she doesn't have a large budget. So she's looking for something fancy, beautiful, but affordable. Okay, so now you know your customers are people that have a low budget, but they want something beautiful and classy. Now the problem is most of the websites, most of the products are expensive. So that's a challenge for them. They're trying to find out where they could buy really beautiful clothes within their budget. So now we know the customer and we know what the challenge or what the pain point is and what they are looking for. So we have this through information. And when you now build your website or when you're putting out your information, you're putting out the description, you know what they want, you know what the pain point is and what they want. You use that same language on your website or product description or even the arrangement. Because some people might be looking for something or a website or a platform that is easy to navigate. That is why it's very important to understand who they are and why they will buy. Okay, so let's go back here. So, and she also has the choice to click on the clearance box. Each product is fully described and includes, more information, the measurements for different countries, material use, care instructions. So remember, these are, you're making it easy for your customer or whoever it is that is visiting you to make a buying decision. You're giving them multiple options and making it easy for them. Okay, that is what the customer experience, that is what the experience should be about. Okay, let me scroll down. Give me a second. Okay, so she chooses the perfect dress. She's seen something she likes, quickly checks out and decides to sign up with a new customer account. So she likes it. It's easy, it's fun, it's available, it's affordable. I like the design. So I'm just going to go ahead and create an account. I might want to buy something else in the future because remember, in the past she's had difficulties finding the perfect store that has the kind of dresses that she wants. Okay, so she bookmarks your website for future purchase. This is the time when you collect an email. This is when you get her information for when you want to remarket to her later in the future. So you have new products or you have new designs and you want to reach out to people that have previously purchased from you. Okay, and then you get all her information. Anne is so happy with her first purchase from you and she now shares the picture. So she probably wears it to her event, she's taking pictures and she's putting it on social media and she's tagging you and she's saying, beautiful dress, I love this dress from, and then she mentions the name of your brand or your business. And she just gives a fantastic review for you. Okay, let me scroll back down. Now, in this example, there are multiple places where your efforts paid off. So you took into consideration your clients, your customers, their needs, what they're looking for. You took into consideration how you want them to feel, how easy it is you want them to navigate your website. So this is you doing your primary homework, which is to think about them first, what they want, how the experience is going to be, how easy it's going to be for them. Because yes, you want them to convert. Your primary objective is to get them to the end of that journey. Remember the roadmap I showed you? They started from point A, they are getting to point B. which is for you. Point A is, getting them to know you or visit your website. Point B is getting them to purchase. For your customers, point A is where they are, they have a problem, they need a solution. Point B for them is getting that solution. So you need to make sure that, you are satisfying their point B, getting them to where they want to. So whenever you're doing anything, you're sharing any content, or you are, sharing, you're running an ad, or you're putting out any information, think about where you want them to get to, because they're also thinking about that as well. Okay, so now this is a great experience for them. And of course, their journey, they're happy with this. Now let's look at a scenario where she doesn't buy the first time she visits your website. Okay, she comes in, she sees what you have, she likes it, but then she still wants to go back to check other websites. Now, the fact that she has visited means that there's a possibility that, she might buy. You never know. But of course, you don't want to overthink it. You've captured her information. If you have the right pixels installed on your website, you can track to know who these people are that visited, or to see what pages that they landed on. Now this is where you begin to do your homework. You retarget to them, because the fact that they got to that product page means that they are interested. So you run ads to bring her back. Or you could decide to show her more dresses similar to the dresses that she came to see on your website. And you can also decide to give her a 5% discount or 10% discount, give her a discount code. This is where, like we said, during the purchase stage, this is where you give them a push to buy from you. So you need to follow up with them to increase that engagement that they are having with you. Okay, now let's look at another example. This is Tanya, and Tanya is shopping.
Yeah, Vanessa, also, can we start taking the questions after this? There's tons of questions that we have.
Oh my goodness, when do you, okay. How many more minutes do I have?
You have a couple of more minutes. You can take a couple of more minutes.
4 minutes.
Couple of more minutes, yeah. A few more minutes.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we have quite a lot to cover. Okay, I'm almost done, so I'm just going to quickly go through this. Okay, so this is the second example. Tanya she's a mom, and she's shopping online for her. She wants to get toys for her kids for a birthday party, and she is under a lot of pressure because her daughter is there. She's misbehaving and she wants attention, so she's kind of under pressure, and she wants to quickly get something to buy. Now she goes on, she sees your website, she clicks on the product, she sees a nice toy she wants to buy, she clicks on it, but it takes forever to load. Now this is a problem, okay? And I don't know if any of you have experienced this. You go on a website, you want to buy something, but it takes forever to load. And be honest, what happened? What would you do? For one, I would leave that website and go somewhere else, where yes. I could, get a better experience and buy that product. So that is the same way it is for your customer, okay? You need to run tests and find out where their faults. And if you find out where those faults are, try to fix it. So this is an example of a poor customer experience. Of course, you wouldn't get any reviews. And even if she does give you a review, she'd give you a negative review. And this will affect other people who want to come to buy from you, who will come to buy from you in the future. So when you find this out, try to fix it so that other customers will get a better experience. So I know it's supposed to take quick questions, but I just want to quickly rush through this part, and then we'll take questions. So now that we understand their journey, we understand what happened. Now let's look at how we can communicate with them, or how we can send the right message to them at this point. So I want you to remember this. We said, deepening the engagement with your customers at each level at each stage of their journey. Okay, so we have 3 types of audiences. Or possible customers. We have the cold audience, we have the warm audience, and the hot audience. So when we talk about the cold, these are people that have no idea about your business, about your products. They don't know you exist. Okay? And then we have the warm audience. These are people that, yes, they've seen you a couple of times, they're familiar with your brand, they've attended your workshops, they've engaged with you one way or the other. And then you have the hot audience. These are people that they're ready to buy. You know they're ready to buy. And it's then that you now decide, okay, good, I'm going to follow up with these people. When you're running a marketing campaign, I would have asked this question, but let me just say it out. When you're running a marketing campaign, don't focus on the cold audiences first because you waste a lot of money. Focus on the hot audiences, those people that are ready to buy. Now, those under the warm audience or the warm customers, that is where you focus on increasing the level of engagement that you have with them so that you move them faster to the hot audience and it's easier for you to sell. So this is the last part before we start to take questions. Now, we're going to look at your customers on different stages and how you should market to them or how you should engage with them or how to communicate, the kind of messages you need to send out to them. So we'll start with the people that have no idea who your business is, no idea what your products are. And the best strategy to use here is to introduce yourself to them. Okay? This is not the part where you begin to sell, because sometimes people just run ads and they just create an audience and let's run an ad to these people. You have no idea who they are. They have no idea who you are. You don't even understand what it is that they need. Okay? Sorry, you understand. You've created an audience. You want to target these people, but they don't know who you are. So yes, you know that they need your service, but they don't know that they need your service. You have to tell them that, hey, listen, I know what you're going through and I can help you. This is how I can help you. So you're introducing yourself and make sure that when they come visiting, you have everything right. So your bio on your different social media platforms is clear, on your website, they understand what it is that you offer. Now we move on to people that, hey, yeah, I've seen your brand. I've seen a post about you. I've seen something out there about you, but I still don't know who you are. Now at this stage, help them, teach them more about you, or just share more information or more resources to get to that familiar zone. So you can write a blog post. Remember, you know what their challenges are, you know their pain points, you know what they need. So you begin to address it at this stage. You put out a blog post, or you could decide to maybe share free resources, maybe a guide or an ebook or a free training to these people to get them closer to you or to get them into your zone. And then you move on to, oh yes, I know this brand. Oh, they're amazing, they're fantastic. I would love to work with them. And so at this stage, of course, you get to draw them in more. You're putting out a lead magnet to get them to opt in, or you're putting a link for them to visit your website. So basically, what we're doing here is at every stage, at different stages, and we have different types of audience and customers. So we're kind of engaging with them differently. You can't see someone that doesn't know you and you try to sell to them. Yes, they need your product, but they don't know that they need it, and they're not sure that you could really help them. So you go on until you get to the part where they know you, they're confident, they trust you. This is the part where you begin to sell and offer. You begin to give them offers to buy from you. And then you move on to the part where they're already customers. You get testimonials, and then you share it, and then you give them more offers, because your responsibility is to keep them, loyal to your brand and, make them become repeat customers. So they always want to buy over and over again. So that is the end of my presentation. Although I took 3 questions from the form, I don't know if can I respond to these questions?
Of course. Would you like me to ask you more questions from the forum as well and from the chat that we have over here?
Okay, so from the form, I picked out, there's so many questions out there that I can't respond to right now, but I picked out 3 questions from the form. So I'm just going to quickly rush through that, and then we can take questions from people that are
Absolutely.
live.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So someone asked a question. They said, how do I recognize my target audience and build a relationship with them? Okay, so this is something that I like to do, and I think that it would really help you as well. So whoever it is that asks this question, the first thing you need to do is to ask yourself, what problems do I solve? What problems am I solving for people? Okay, now, if you understand what the problems you're solving are, then you now take one step backwards and then you say, okay, who has this problem? And then you dig deeper. Okay, so these are the people that have this problem, maybe women. I'll take myself for example. I do quite a lot of things, but one of the things that I'm really passionate about is helping women in business, helping women succeed, especially women in business. So I know that one of their challenges are, using tech to work. Okay, and so what I do is to simplify tech for them, simplify the process of marketing. So when I take a course, I take something on building marketing funnels, I break it down to the to the simplest form so that it's easy for them to understand and do it on their own. So now I know the problem that I'm solving. I know who I'm solving it for. The next thing is to go out there and talk to them. So when you know these things, you begin to share experiences with them. You begin to share, tips and, teach them things, share resources that help them solve these problems that they have. So the more you do that, of course, you are now building that relation because they get to know more of you and then they trust you because if you're solving problems for them and they're getting results, they will definitely trust you. So this is how to go about recognizing and building that relationship. The next one is how to track your marketing performance. It's very simple, straightforward. If you can't track what you don't measure. So the first thing is set goals. What goals do you have for your business? What are your marketing goals? And then how do you measure them? Because when you set those goals, you focus on achieving them. So there's different kinds. You can say, okay, good, you want to generate more income, and be specific when you're setting goals. Don't just say, yes, I want to make more money. How much do you want to make? What's the duration that you want to make that money within that period? So if you say you want to increase your revenues by 10%, by the end of Q3, what you're measuring is the number of sales. So you then set a campaign and say, okay, good, I'm going to increase this, and this is what I'm going to be measuring. I'm going to be measuring the number of sales I make from the beginning of Q3 to the end of Q3. If you want to increase traffic to maybe a sales page, you're going to be measuring, okay, how many people visited that page? What did they do when they visited that page? How long did they stay on that page? Okay, so these are some of the ways to go about tracking and measuring it. First, set a goal and then define how you're going to measure, the metrics you're going to use to measure that goal. Okay, I think I've already responded to this. How do I, the kind of content to share and how to build my know, like, trust? It's simple. Share content that helps them solve problems. Share content that teaches them how to solve their problems. The more you do that, the more they get to know you, the more they get to trust you, and it makes it easier when you want to start to sell. Okay, so these are just the 3 questions. There are a lot more, but I think we're going to have from people that are here.
True. Vanessa, thank you. Firstly, for giving us a very complete and a holistic perspective in terms of, the customer journey, how to get on with it, customer placement. I love the map that you shared. Okay, so I did. So we have a couple of very interesting questions. I'll try to take as many as we can, starting with the most recent question. This is by a startup. And Sidra Qureshi is her name, and I'll just pop her question. We'll just show over here. So Sidra wants to understand how to identify and acquire customers that will convert well inside her app. So she has an app where it's basically, her startup is around telemedicine, where they connect doctors and patients. It's an online portal. So that's her question for you.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, she has an app that connects doctors and
patients.
Doctors and patients. Okay.
Yeah.
So the app connects. So who are her customers?
So basically, on one end, it's B2B, where she's dealing with the doctors. They also happen to be her clients. And on the other hand, since the customers are also using the app, who happen to be the patients, it's both a B2B and a B2C. Yes.
Okay. So I need to understand a few other things as well.
Sure.
For them to be on the app, is it free? Do they need to pay? Do the doctors need to register to be on the platforms? Is it free for the customers? Is it possible to comment so that we get this information?
Sidra, if you could type it over here for us, that will be great. But Vanessa, as far as I know, it's a paid app. I mean, you're charged for getting, for being connected to a doctor and getting an appointment with the doctor. You have to pay a certain amount. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So I think that one of the things now, she understands who her customers are. She knows who they are. Now the question is, why would they want to be on your app? Why would they need to go through you to find doctors? Okay, so there's a gap. There's obviously a gap, and there's obviously a problem or something that exists that makes it difficult for them. So what she can do is to identify why these people will come through her to find a doctor. So it's possibly they don't know the right doctors, or it's not very easy to just walk into a hospital and say, you want to see this doctor. Or I don't know the functionality of the app, but one thing I know is, let's take it from the patients, or the B2C, or the patients, or people that need the doctors. Okay, they are looking for something. Okay, they're looking for a platform, not necessarily a platform. They're looking for a way to connect with doctors that can help them. So it's her responsibility, or it's her task, to position herself as the person that can help them connect to the doctors that they're looking for. Now, there are different platforms. Okay, of course, there's social media, there's probably a website, and it has to do with the way she the kind of information that she's putting out there. Is she showing examples, or is she showing success stories of people that are successfully connected with doctors? Is she sharing, okay, good, what's the experience like? Through this app, I was able to, I met this, through this app, I was able to meet this doctor. I had this problem, and he gave me, I had an appointment, or, he did this for me, he did that for me. Sharing testimonials from people that have used your app and the results they've gotten out there makes it, easy for other people to want to get into that app. And, other people that have a similar need. Do you understand? So it's important that she begins to communicate about, the experience and the results that she's getting. Because most of the time, a lot of people focus too much on how to sell. But then they've already had some level of success. Maybe they have 5 customers or 10 customers, or maybe she's had, like, I don't know how many people she has on the app. But say, for example, you have 5 people already on that app, and they've connected successfully to doctors, and they've gotten results. Okay, take those 5 customers, those 5 people on that app, and maximize and market the heck out of it. Put it out there, share the success story, share how easy it was for them to connect the doctors. Okay, so I believe in don't just put all your don't start with what you have, with those people out there, and begin to talk on, the solution, talk about what you're solving, the problem, the key problem that you're solving. The pain point that they're having, they're probably not able to find, and connect with the doctors, or maybe it's expensive, but through your app, it's affordable. They don't have to pay as much as if they have to walk into a hospital and book an appointment. Or it's easier to connect instead of going through the normal route of visiting, booking an appointment. It's easier. So she should talk more on how her app is connecting people, and then share more of the testimonies from these patients there. Now, when we get to the doctors as well, she also wants to get more doctors or more hospitals to subscribe to her platform. So now she needs to also show them that, listen, we have a large database of people who are searching for, doctors that have your expertise. So being here would make it easier for them to connect more with those patients. And then, of course, it's bringing more income for them because they would have to pay for consultation, things like that. So she needs to focus more on talking about the solution and sharing testimonials and telling people how she is solving the problems that they have.
Yeah. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for the for the great suggestions. I don't think Sidra is incorporating testimonials at this point in time, and she just made a thumbs up. That means she's very happy and satisfied with the answer. So
awesome.
The second question that we have is from Muhammad Afaq, and he wants to understand that will SEO, and I mean, everybody is crazy about SEO in Pakistan for some very odd reason. Will SEO get the right customers for the right product? That is his question for you.
Okay. So I would say this. I think I said it before and I'll say it again. You can force a horse to the stream, but you can't force it to drink from that stream. Yeah. You can use SEO to rank and be the first person that people see when they're searching. That's possible. But then when they visit your website or when they check out that information that you put out there that gets them into your space, is it responding to an immediate need? So this is how I like to think of it. Yes, SEO will help you, with the right keywords and the phrases that people are searching for. When they search that phrase, you're right there on top. That's fantastic. It can get you the right traffic. It can get you the needed traffic. It can help with visibility. But I want you to think beyond just that. I want you to think of your product. Okay, how does it solve their problems? How are you presenting that product to these people? Okay, because if it's just to get them to visit or to check it out, yes, it can do that. But is it converting? Is that page they're visiting, is it converting? Is the information converting? Is the pictures, the description, the value of that product, is it convincing enough? Can it convert those people that are visiting those pages? So this is how I like to think about it. SEO will help you, will get you in front of those people. SEO can help drive traffic, but at the end of the day, it's your product. If the product is not good, it will not convert. And at the end of the day, you also need to be thinking of conversion. So yes, SEO would help, but then think beyond just SEO. Think of the product, think of your customers, and think of how the information that you put out there can convert those people when they come on your website.
Thank you, Vanessa. So the next question that we have is from Farhat Bashir. She happens to be from Pakistan, and she's happy. She's applauding the efforts. Her question is that do's and don'ts one should consider while converting highly interested user to premium form free service that was launched to test waters. She wants to understand, she wants to know some cases, examples you may quote. No, freemium is a good option. A company must keep freemium with premium. That is customers having great experience with freemium.
I'm back. Sorry, my network just went haywire.
I figured that out. Yeah. Vanessa, can you see her question? It's a very long question. Yeah, I mean, you can read it for yourself. My understanding is she wants to understand that she was trying to test new waters, and she used a freemium model, and now probably she wants to convert to premium, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, so she wants to understand, okay, will the customer, with a great experience with premium, will they want to use the premium service as well? If she would like the customers to convert to premium after that, will the user retention will be great? Yeah, or will the user retention rate? Yeah, will it fluctuate because of that?
Okay. This is a fantastic question, and I've had quite a number of people ask the same thing. So if I understand correctly, she has a product. She has a product, right? Or a service?
I think it's a service. It's a free service.
Okay,
yeah.
She has a service. Okay.
Yeah.
And she started giving out the service for free, which is good, especially if you don't have a customer base, if you don't have testimonials. I usually advise people give out a few things for free just so that you can get recommendations or you can get testimonials to showcase or market with. That is good. But then you need to know when to convert or when to switch from free to paid, because we train our audience or our customers. We have to train them. If you give them free all the time, because I had the same challenge at some point. When you're always giving out free things, they get used to that. And the moment you want to convert or when to switch. Okay, I can hear myself again. I thought, okay.
Yeah, there was an echo. Sorry.
Okay, and then the moment that you want to transition to paid or premium, it's difficult because they're already used to free things. Now, one thing you can do is, first of all, I know that you've already started testing, and you currently have an amount of people that have worked with you, that you've given out your free service to. That's fantastic. Now, get testimonials from these people. That's the first step. Have them give you testimonials about the experience, about the results that they've gotten working with you for free so far. Yeah. Now, use those testimonials, because testimonials are really, really, really great. They are amazing. It helps, convince other people that you are the real deal. Okay. So take that testimonial and then set up a landing page, or put all that testimonials there, also share it on your social media, and you're showing people that, hey, I've done this with these people. This is what I can do. This I know that you have this challenge, and I'm here to help you. This is what I can do. These are the people that I've worked with. These are the results that they've gotten so far. Okay, I can help you. Book an appointment with me. Let's look at what I can help you do, or how we can work together. How I can help you solve that problem. These are some messages that you can share with these people. Now, when they're coming with you, they have it here that, okay, good. She has this result. I want the same result. I'm ready to pay for it. So she's changing her message. She's not just saying, hey, buy this. She's starting with the problem that they have. And she's telling them that, hey, I can help you. She's positioning herself as the guide that will take them from where they are to where they need to be. And she's showing them proof. I've done this with A, B, C, and they've gotten the same results that you're looking for. So, just come in, and she's inviting them, hey, come on, let's talk about it. Let me know, how deep this problem goes and how I can help you. And right from there, she's putting a price tag to it. It's not for free. I can give you a 15 minutes consultation. Let's talk about it. But then for me to come up with a plan on how to execute, it's going to cost you. So she's selling with the value first, because she already has a database. She already has a number of people that she's worked with. So she's selling the value first. And another thing is, she needs to go back and do some more homework. It's not enough to just say, yes, I want to work with these people. Go deeper. So I'll give an example. You have a headache, okay? You maybe traveled, went on a long journey, you got back, you have crazy headache, and you don't have any meds to take for that. Now you go to the store. The store is closed. But then the lady, or they tell you, okay, good, we don't have the one you have. We have another one which is better, but it's more expensive. Be honest, Miriam. I'll ask you this question. That headache is serious, it's severe, okay?
Yeah.
And the only product available is another one that is more expensive. Will you buy it to get?
Of course, I wouldn't care about the price.
Yeah. You won't care about the money. Thank you. You care about that headache getting out of you and leaving you completely. So that is why it's very important to dig deep to understand, what their pain points are. Why would they want to work with you? What is it that you're solving that they need? So start with this first. Start with that value first and get them here. I like to say like hook them at that point where they know that they can't do without your service. Okay? But you need to begin to change your messaging. Don't just say it's for free. No, stop saying that. Start with, like I said, talk about the problem, mention the challenge so they understand, and then tell them you can help them, show them results, and then invite them in for a free consultation. But then tell them that I'm going to talk with you for free. But then if you want me to give you a plan. If you want us to work together, it's paid. Then you take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I would second that. Vanessa, we have a couple of more questions. I'll try to take as many as we can because we're short on time as well. So Salman, he was one of the first people to ask us. He asked us two questions actually. One of them is the best way of engaging customers, and my understanding is that Salman runs a tech startup, because his second question is, what are the good ways to promote a tech startup? So whichever one you would like to take first.
Okay. How to promote a tech start. So I always like to ask questions to be very clear first before I respond. What's the tech startup all about? It's a different type of tech startup. What exactly is it about? That is first. Now, I don't know if you know what it's about.
I have absolutely no idea. So I agree. This is very vague. So we can probably skip this. He wants to understand the best way for customer engagement, and then again, online offline modes will be completely different. If you'd like to cover that, probably.
Okay. So I think that this question is related to the second question, because from what I understand, I'm sure he has a tech startup, and he wants to know the best way to engage with prospective customers for a startup. Now, I don't know what kind of startup, I don't know the kind of services that you are offering to them, but we're still on the same principle, okay, which is, why does your tech startup, or why does your startup exist? What problem are you solving? Because every business exists to solve a problem. If you're starting a startup, if you're setting up something, you're doing that because you want to solve a problem. Now, you're not doing it first because of money. Money is a result. When you solve a problem for someone, you get paid. So the money you're generating is the result that you get after solving that problem. Okay? So the first thing is, it's the same thing. It cuts across several industries. What are you solving for these people, and who needs it? Now, if you're able to identify all this, the next thing is to begin to communicate this to them. Begin to talk to them. Begin to share resources. So if your tech startup is one that produces, I really don't know, but okay, now that product or that service that you are offering, there is a specific set or group of people that need it. Do you understand? So how to engage with them? Go to where they are. Do your primary assignment. Dig deep to understand everything about them, who they are, and why they will buy from you. Now, when you know all that, you go all out on social, and then you're sharing resources, you're sharing content, you're inviting them, you're running webinars, or you're giving them free guides, or just like the other lady, she gave out free services. She agreed to work with you for free to get testimonials. See, there's so many ways, but if you don't understand the people that your service or your business is serving, you would have problems getting across to them or getting them to engage with you. Remember at the beginning, I said for your marketing, you need to understand your customers so well that your product sells itself. So when you know them very well, when you put out this product, it's clear, it's simple to them. They know at that point, they know that this is for me because this is the problem that I'm having. Do you understand? So I really don't know the kind of tech startup that you have. If I knew, I would have given a few. I would have gone. I would have been a bit more specific. But it's still the same thing. To get people to engage with you, they need to know what you stand for, and it has to resonate with a need that they have or something that they desire, and it makes it easier for them to connect with you and go all the way.
Vanessa, we'll just be taking one more question as we are short on time. So this question is from the registration form. Hafiza is the name of the person. She runs her business online. She's part of KP Women Forum. And she wants to understand, because she's a new business owner, she wants to understand that as a new business owner, how can she gain the trust of her customers online?
Okay.
She's selling
I can't see the question. I can't see the question. What does she do?
I can post the question over here. So basically, she hasn't mentioned her business, but my understanding is that she's basically she hails from the cottage industry and she's selling online, and she wants to understand, since she's selling all her products online, how can she gain the trust of her customers? Because she's new in the market.
Okay, I didn't get the first part about what her business is or what she's currently doing.
So Vanessa, I have limited information. She hasn't really specified that.
Can you post a question?
Absolutely, I'm about to do that right now.
Okay.
And I'll just show it to you over here as well. How to gain trust of customers as a new business owner? Because
as a new business owner.
So basically, what I understand is she's part of this women forum where women from different sectors, they come and they showcase the products. Her products are, she's not, I don't think she's engaged with services. She's engaged with products like embroidered clothes, apparel, homeware, party wear, something like that. So she wants to understand, and she's selling this online. She wants to understand how to gain the trust of customers, first-time users, who are buying from her. Yeah.
Okay. So I like the way all the questions are, connected, because of course I would still say the same thing. To gain someone's trust, people can't trust you unless you give them a reason to trust you. And for you to give them a reason to trust you, you need to show them that you can be trusted. You need to show them what you have done. You need to show them how you can help them. Okay, so give them a reason to trust you. Now, she's new to the business. She's new to the market. She's starting a new business. So of course, it's true. Get people to trust you when there are so many other people currently doing the same thing or have been existing before you and have a large customer base. Sometimes it can be challenging, but two things. Okay, there is something that those people are doing. No. let me change it. When you come into the market, it's important to find out what people are currently doing, and then take it a step further to find out what they are not doing. Even if you're offering the same product, they can't do it all. There's bound to be some people that are not satisfied with what they're doing. There's bound to be other people that want more. Do you understand? Now, find out what your competitors or other people are not doing that you can do and do better. Do you understand? So she sells embroidery, she sells what's that?
Clothes, apparel.
Clothes. Good.
Yeah.
Now, yes, the fashion industry is large. Almost everyone is in the fashion industry. Like you find literally everything. But then, even in the fashion industry, there's a certain group of people that need something different from what is out there. So, I'm still gonna say the same thing. It boils down to finding out who you want to serve.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're selling clothes and it's for women, who are these women? Why? What difference are you bringing? If you're selling embroidery and the fashion, the clothes that you're selling, what's the difference? Okay, and who are these women? Why should they buy from you? So when we say fashion, especially on social media, it's not enough to just keep on posting, pictures of your dresses. Yes, if you want, of course, when you're running a campaign, you want to showcase what you're doing. That is good. But I always like to have a message or what you stand for behind it. So are you dressing? So I used to have a lady I used to work with before. She does this. She's Muslim and she does hijabi. And this kind of dress she makes really beautiful. And when we started, to talk about because she was like there were so many other women doing the selling, making the same clothes and selling it. And then we broke it down to why make that dress? What's the essence behind it? Why should I come and buy from you? And then, so we're asking, series and questions. We have to ask a lot of questions to narrow it down to the essence, to the core, the raw value. And for her, it was what we decided on was the women, Muslim women, they are prized jewel and they need to be covered. And while they're being covered, they still need to look classy and chic and fashionable and modern.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So when she began to communicate on social media about her product, she didn't just say buy the regular dress with hijab. Everyone was doing it. But then she started to tell a story about, she started to tell her own personal story, about, she wanted to go for an event and she saw, different things, but it didn't resonate. She didn't like it until, she now decided to make a dress and she was able to style it somehow. She felt covered, but then suddenly she felt, it was chic. And so she started to share stories about, the Muslim woman in a certain kind of community or a certain kind of environment, and how difficult it was to find those kind of clothes that not only covers you, that but shows that you can be modern and you can be classy. So she wasn't just selling, she was appealing to a desire to look modern. Even while you're covered, even while you have everything on you, she was appealing to that desire of, preserving but still looking chic and modern. So she went just beyond selling like everyone was. She started to tell a story. She was appealing to this set of women. So to be able to gain their trust, you need to appeal to something that they want, something they deeply desire. Okay? And let your message be consistent. Continue to talk about it. If you've worked with other women, share their own story, share their own testimonial. It's not just about put the picture and put the price tag, buy. No, people are tired of that. But if you tell them a good story, and if you show them how you're helping other people, and if you're telling them that I know that you're here, you want to get there, I can help you. Trust me, they would, over time, they would follow you, they would like you, trust you, and it becomes easier to buy from you.
True, very true. Vanessa, thank you so much for the very insightful session. Anybody who would like to reach out to her, they can through her GBG Cotonou page, Vanessa has her own public page as well, for that matter. Also, we haven't closed the registration form, and the reason being, anybody who would like Vanessa to share resources with them, you can actually fill out the registration form. Although, we won't be entertaining questions anymore since we're getting done with this session. But thank you everyone from around the world who has joined us today. Thank you, Vanessa, for taking out time. It's been a pleasure hosting you today. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you too, Miriam.
Thank you, Vanessa. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.